Hello, this is Edwin from Think to Win, and I'm here with another new deck profile of my Dauntless Drive DOTE deck, or not really my deck, I borrowed it from my friend, and I used it during the European Continental qualifiers. If you guys saw the deck profiles, the third place was Dauntless Drive DOTE, that was me. So no second place and no Japan for me, but it's okay since third place also decent as well. This deck is kind of like, some people comment on it that it's not the usual Dauntless Drive DOTE deck, so I'm going to do the grade 3s and trigger lineup first, and then we'll do the grade 2s and grade 1s. Basically, I made the deck around people playing Angel Feathers because those were pretty common in my locals, so I expected that to be in the continental tournament as well, but most of them were gold paladins, so I guess wrong. First of all, the grade 3s for Dauntless Drive. Basically break right. Its skill is well, there's 3 skills. Well, Lord skill, but first skill, if you write on another grade 3 Kagura or higher Kagura unit on this unit, it gains 10k power, and the skill that if battle ends, you can drop 3 cards and it can restand and attack again. So basically, Descendant-like effect, but a bit better. Obviously, Descendant can do it every turn, and this thing only does it when you break right it. So 4, because you want to use the effect. At limit break 4, obviously. And 4 DOTE. Basically their own synergy in itself might not be that good, but DOTE installs fear into most opponents because they want to block it because of the chances of you having another one in your hand. Double restanding rarely ever happens. I've done it like once, and it's only because of sack, but usually you don't get 2 of them off. I mean double restanding off. So yeah, so that's the basic lineup. Next, for the starter, I used Conroe. Not much to say about it. Counter +1, get a grade 1 unit from your hand, from your deck, and put it into your hand. It's one of the most consistent starters for Kagura right now, so why not play it? Basically, get a shield or bar, depending what you need. Usually I get a shield. Also watch out when to use this card. Basically, you give away what your hand is like the moment you use this card. If you get Bowery, that means you have a bar in hand or you lack a perfect shield. So they will know you have a perfect card in hand and your hand will be lacking on shield or whatever. So usually I use this one later in the game when I really need a certain card in my hand. And next, for the trigger lineup. Okay. I have 6 draw. These 2 are different, randomly. And these 4 are Gatling Cross. Basically, you can retire any grade 0 starter that has kind of ability that will annoy you. So that's Spring Breeze Messenger, opponent's Conroe, right now Linshu, but basically all the starters that will annoy you in some kind of way, or maybe Easel Superior Right, just retired with Gatling Claw. And the other 2, because there's you can only run 4 Gatling Claw, so I ran 2 other randoms. So 6 draw. And obviously if I'm running 6 draw, I'm going to be running 6 criticals. So 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. Or well, not 2 of these, but 1 and 1 of each. Basically, the reason I run all different is because they have to guess whether I'm running 8 crit, or 6 crit, or even 4 crit, depending on the build you're using. So that's why I use different triggers. The worst one is pretty much this one, because it's 3k, but yeah. Might switch it. You might be able to switch it out for another critical though. Don't really need to use that one, but because I didn't have access to the other one, I used Rakshasha. And 4 heal. Most broken trigger out there. Healing damage is always good, especially if you double heal. Well, that's kind of a lot of sack, but so next, for the grade 1 lineup, I run standard 4 bar. Yeah, bar is bar. 8k booster, always good against anything. Cross rides, normal units, can put it behind any units. So even an 8k, but I don't run 8k grade 2, so don't really need that for. But it's bar. 4 shield. Basically, against mirror matches, OP abilities, all break right abilities, everything extra criticals, whatever. perfect shields are mandatory for that, so that's why I run 4. If you were running in the old meta, I wouldn't have run 4, maybe 3, but right now you have to run 4. Not running 4 is kind of dangerous. So if you don't grab your perfect shield on time and you're going to get the extra critical from maybe Labrador or like Transcore or whatever, you really need this card. And I run 2 Iron Tail and 4 Chimera. Basically, the reason I run 4 Chimera is against Angel Feathers. They really need their 9k booster, so you keep retiring it over and over and over again. Mirror matches, you keep retiring their 10k boosters, 8k boosters, whatever boosters they have. Keep retiring all things over and over again, because they have, like most decks at the moment, lack the ability to consistently have their boosters. So that's why I'm running 4 Chimeras. The reason it's bad is because if I play against something like Gold Paladins, which was the Continental tournament, they were full of Gold Paladins, they can swarm the field with Armor, so then Chimera is pretty bad. But in most matchups, Chimera is pretty good. Mirror matchups, everything, people don't usually run Chimera in high amounts, so running 4 will definitely give you the advantage over another Dragon Empire user and other clans in general, except for Gold Paladins. And too bad there were too many Gold Paladins. 2 Iron Tail. The deck lacks good great ones, so the reason I run 2 Iron Tail is because it's either run Gojo or Iron Tail, or the other one, the Seal Dragon one, where you can drop a card if the opponent has a grade 2. Iron Tail gives you ability to make it a 9k booster if you really want. I've won games with this one and Burning Horn together, so yeah, pretty much that. In the end, I would have probably run more Iron Tail and less Chimeras if I knew the matchups beforehand, but I didn't, so really not much to do about it. Yeah, so that was the grade 1 lineup. Okay, next for the grade 2 lineup, I run 6 10k beat sticks. 2 of each, so my opponent will be guessing whether I'm running 8, 4, or whatever number I have. They're basically the most, right now in this meta, these are the best grade 2 rides you have, possibly, because most of the archetypes have 9ks, so you will be able to block for 10k no pass, unless they're playing Aquaforce, because that booster becomes 8k instantly, but this one it's really good to ride first. Also, they can poke at almost every rear guard except for grade 3s, so they're really good. The reason I run only 6 instead of 8 is because, in my own opinion, I usually in most of my matches I get Burning Horn in my hand along with DOTE, so that's why. If you don't get that consistently like I did, I would suggest running 8, but reason I'm Burning Horn is, yeah, it really depends on how you usually ride your grade 3s, because I usually ride DOTE first for some random reason. So yeah, really depends on the person and their own opinion about certain cards. And there are the 3 Burning Horn. Yeah, Burning Horn, self-grade attacker, always good. Only 3 because you don't always ride into DOTE first. I did a lot of matches, but yeah. If you don't break right first, this one is really good. Also, the reason there's a lack of good grade 2 is 9ks. You either run on flipper, you don't really need to on flip. What else? Stages, it's not really that good. Can only take in that same row, so your opponent doesn't call boost in that row again. What else? Yeah, the Seal Dragon, Corduroy, you don't run Seal Dragons. Yeah, it's not really good alternatives. So I just run Burning Horn. You could have run more 10ks, but and to Berserk, because Berserk is Berserk. I used to run Tejas back in the day, but I prefer Berserk right now. It's more like you don't use it, just call it. If you want to use it, you can use it. It's more like it's never that. It's a 9k. You can always get 16k rows with it, and retiring opponent's booster is good. So basic tactic of the deck is ride to grade 3, well duh. So grade 3, rush your opponent to death, take damage to 4, break right, hope they don't get heals and win. There's not much tactic to this deck altogether. except besides knowing which boosters to retire. If they have 8k boosters, be sure to get rid of them, or special boosters like 10ks. Be sure to get rid of them really quick, and that's really what this deck only does, is getting rid of the opponent's most precious cards, their boosters, while bashing. So that's pretty much this deck. All in all, do I think this deck can win in this new meta of post-set 10? It's a good deck, but compared to something like Descendant, which is more consistent than this one, especially since you have to break right to get a skill off, I think it's a bit bad. But it's not bad as in like real bad, but in comparison it might be a little bit worse than this deck, but it's still a decent deck in altogether. Anyway, this concludes the end of my deck profile. I hope you guys like it. Please subscribe if you like our videos, and see you guys at the next video. Oh, and I also almost completed my Narukami deck, so that deck profile will probably be going up next week. So see you guys at the next video.